Hey everybody, welcome back to Holt Growers. I'm your host Timothy Holt, and this is my greenhouse. Normally I start out the video with this is my backyard, but it has been a rainy mess all week. So I haven't done a lot in the yard. Today I'm going to try to get all the leaves raked up and moved in here. In this bed that I'm standing over right now, we do have some germination of seed. I just put leftover seed that I had from the growing season in here, raked it out, kind of just mixed it all together, threw it in, and what grows grows, what doesn't doesn't. The reason for that is the chickens are going to be housed in here at the end of the month, and they will eat it and cultivate it and take care of any bugs and grubs and all that good stuff. So it will help with my feed costs since I already had the seed. It'll keep my feed costs over the winter down a little bit. So also we have peppers. The peppers, we did have a couple days of frost last week, and before I got the cover on, the peppers experienced that. So the peppers are done. They're on their way out. I'm not gonna pull them up. I'm just gonna let them die. Last week I talked about the salad mix that I have in here, and unfortunately I let it grow too long and it's just not any good. So it's going to do the same thing as what is in this bed. It's going to provide that feed for the chickens. I'm just going to leave it sit for the next few weeks and the chickens can do their thing with it. As long as it doesn't go to seed, we should be fine, and I'm not overly worried if it does. So you might notice behind me there's quite a bit of cardboard laid out. That's everywhere where there's not currently something I want planted. That cardboard is going to get covered up with the leaves outside, and then also I'm going to be bringing in some wood chips and bedding for the birds for over winter. I'm going to put in, between the leaves and the bedding, I want to put in about 3 inches deep over all of the cardboard. The cardboard is creating a weed barrier. It's also going to allow for some decomp and to take place. So all of that cardboard is going to get covered up with about 2 to 3 inches of wood chips and leaves from outside in the yard. So with that, I'm going to switch the camera over to a time lapse while I rake up all the leaves and get them moved in here and take care of that for you. You might be able to hear the chickens clucking outside. So far it is really warm in the greenhouse compared to outside. I don't have a thermometer in here yet, but I am sweating just wearing this light sweatshirt, hoodie, and a flannel shirt, where outside it's 41 degrees out. So the cover is definitely doing a really good job. There's condensation on the inside here, which just got all over my hand. A couple of them just dripped on my head, drops. So overall, I'm happy with the cover. We'll see how it handles over winter, and stay with me over winter, and we'll get back to it in the spring as far as planting is concerned. The garlic's planted already. You can check out that video on what I took to take care of that in the southern beds. Hopefully it winters well. So let's get to that raking of the leaves. We are finished. I'm finished with the leaves. This is fresh leaves. As you can see in that time-lapse video, I did not sort through it, so there's twigs, there's grass clippings, obviously wet leaves, fresh leaves in here. If this was in the spring, all of these leaves, all of this would go into the compost, and get mixed around and taken care of, and heated up and cooked. But since the chickens are going to be housed in here for the next 3 months, essentially from about Thanksgiving to about Valentine's Day, I'm not worried about it. The weeds, any creeping Charlie, crabgrass, any of that isn't going to have time to regenerate itself, because the chickens are going to peck, they're going to scratch, they're going to poop, and they're going to eat. And they're just going to wreak havoc, because that's what they do, and they do it really well. So I'm not worried about introducing any of those invasives that might happen to be in my yard in here at this time. Now, again, if this was spring, absolutely not. I'd be using finished compost, dried manure mixed together for fertilizer in here. But since we're going to be adding dried wood chips, poultry bedding as well on top of these leaves, I'm not worried about it. By the time spring gets here, by the time early February, we'll get the chickens out of here, probably before Valentine's Day we're hoping. And then we're going to use the next 2 to 3 weeks for bed prep and mix it all in. The cardboard should be gone and decomposed, the leaves decomposed and mixed in with the manure, and the bedding, it should be good. Not overly worried about it. My big concern over the winter is having the chickens in here, them getting overheated. Right now it's probably over 80 degrees in here. I am hot and sweating. There's condensation raining down. It's about 42, maybe 43 degrees outside. I don't have a thermometer in here yet, but it is warm in here, folks. So my main concern about the chickens being in here over winter is them getting too hot, not too cold. If that starts to happen, I plan on above the door putting in a vent fan, thermostat controlled, solar powered vent fan right above the door, and get it vented out for them and cool it off in here. But that's my only real concern about the chickens being housed here, is them getting overheated. Like I said last week, we're going to get a jungle gym in here for them. That's basically 2x2s and logs put together so they have a roost and can jump around and that kind of thing. And a portable nesting box for them. That, generally speaking, chickens in the winter don't produce eggs, but since they're going to be in a relatively warm environment, they still might, so we'll have that in here for them. I'm going to cut this video short and get out of here into a cooler environment, because it is really warm in here. So, as always, thank you for watching, and if you like this, give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, the bell will give you notifications. I try to upload a new video for Holt Growers every week, usually on Saturday. Sometimes it's earlier in the week, but most of the time it's on a Saturday. And get out, grow something today. May God richly bless you. Check out the other videos on this channel if you like.